Hey, hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for, tuning in and spending some time with me on whatever day of the week, whatever month, whatever year, whatever time of day you are tuned in. I don't take your time, for light. I don't take it for granted. I don't take it lightly at all. So thank you so much for choosing to tune in to what you obviously can tell is going to be quite the interesting conversation. It's a very necessary conversation. 2020 has just been quite the year of so many unthinkable things, encounters, and stuff like that. And so, including for some of us, encounters with narcissists, actual narcissists. And so, in this conversation, there will be more to come for sure, because even in this video, I'll be covering quite a bit. But I will be including helpful resources and whatnot in the description box and the comments below, for you to take time, in your personal time and leisure time to educate your own self. Because for me, nobody educated me. I mean, I've connected with people on the internet, thankfully, who have had their own encounters and stuff like that with narcissists, friendships, relationships, or everything's a counterfeit with them. I'll get to that in a second. But as far as my initial knowledge, nobody educated me, because of the female narcissist that I know and dealt with this year and even part of last year. But I didn't know that she was, I definitely didn't know this time last year or whenever that she's a narcissist like she is. But I found out this year the ways that I found out. And so, no one educated me. It was a matter of, you know, just me dealing with life after the fact of her no longer being in my life, thank God. And, something just honestly, I guess, just spiritually and otherwise, being downloaded into me one day or one night, whatever time of day it was, for me to, get on Google and start looking into narcissism. And I'll never forget that day, because I'm just like, I still, I mean, I understand why now, but initially I didn't understand why. And so I'm thankful, for the knowledge that I've gained, the awareness that I continue to grow in about all things narcissism. And so I guess we'll go ahead and get into it, because when it comes to narcissism, I've got some notes here, and I'll also be sharing my screen at some point. But narcissism, I'll go into it being defined, but um, what is the word? Um, it's a term that is a very strong term to use against just anybody. Um, it does not have to be professionally or formally diagnosed. Just like, with a rapist, right? Either a person's a rapist or they're not. Like, you're not a partial rapist. Like, either you're a rapist or you're not. Either you're a pedophile or you're not. Um, you know, it just is what it is, when it comes to either you're a narcissist or you're not. So that's one thing. The second thing is, yeah, percentage wise and that type of thing, there may be more male narcissists than females, but female narcissists are out here hot and heavy. Okay, let's be very clear on that. um, and ladies, I love us, I love us, but we can't just be on the internet. We can't be out and about, at girls' hangouts or whatever else, girls' trips or whatever, and, calling an ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, a fling, whatever. We can't just be mislabeling him, because it is a mislabel. It's a very strong mislabel at that. It's darn near slander. But you can't just mislabel an ex-boyfriend or ex-husband or whoever a narcissist because he was a player, because he was unfaithful, because he's non-committal. Like, it's too. You might as well, again, you might as well just call him a rapist. You might as well call him a pedophile. Was he those things? Hopefully not. And so it's a very, 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 very strong word to just throw around because you're bitter after a breakup or after a divorce. It's a very, very strong word. So ladies, I don't like that. Those of y'all that do that, y'all got to cut that mess out, because it's ignorant. One, it's ignorant, it's lazy, and it's not good. It's really not right. Okay. That's one of the few things I wanted to kind of expound upon in this video early on. Um, what else? What else? What else? I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I just said about, how a narcissist is a strong term that can be likened to a pedophile or a rapist or what have you. They're not the same thing, obviously. But when you think about the strength of someone being identified as a rapist or a pedophile, yeah, that's the sort of strength that comes along with calling someone or someone being known as a narcissist, and, they're very ruthless and sadistic demons. Honestly, they're just demons walking around in human shells or in human disguise. And so that pretty much covers up that part of what I was going to say about narcissists. So let's go ahead and get to the formalities of it, like definitions and dynamics of it and all of that. I don't even know where to go. Because the one thing, let me see. Okay, let's start with the signs and character qualities, for instance, of a narcissist. You've got like general qualities, you've got more adjective-based ones, and then in the psychology world, you've also got more psych-specific categories of narcissists. In this video, for time's sake and all of that, I'm looking at this article on I'm looking at this article. I forgot to share my screen. I'm looking at this article on Mind Body Green that talks more about collective qualities of a narcissist. And so that starts with the fact that they have a very huge sense of superiority and entitlement, right? So superiority, this article says, is the number one sign of a narcissist. And when you feel like you're superior to other people, that is not self-confidence. That's another thing too. Now that we're talking about self-confidence, some psych experts, in their articles, to be politically correct and whatnot, they find themselves talking about how there's healthy narcissism. Again, there's no healthy rapist or healthy pedophile or healthy domestic violence abuse. No, either you are a domestic violence abuser, and by the way, narcissism is a type of abuse. It's emotional, it's spiritual, it's psychological, it's mental, it's financial, and otherwise. I mean, it covers like damn near every level of abuse that's possible. That's how deep this shitty nightmare is, with whether it's a male narcissist that you come in contact with and encounter and date, marry, whatever, or a female narcissist that you have the misfortune of ever encountering this lifetime. Okay. They really are a demonic nightmare on so many levels. Okay. I've lived it. I know people that have lived it and otherwise. And so that's the first thing. Either you're self-confident or maybe you're not, but there is no such thing as healthy narcissism. And I hate that, unfortunately, in the psych world, for their articles and to be politically correct and crap, they have to say that no. So they have a huge sense of superiority and entitlement. Okay. I mean, they're entitled to tangible things and intangible things in people as well. And so, when it comes to a narcissist, they have to be the best at everything. They have to be the most right about everything, and they have to be the most competent in everything. Everything has to be done their way, if not at all. That's just how they are. They're very entitled. They're just very entitled. They feel entitled to even hurt you, and they're just crazy. That's just what that is. They have an exaggerated need for attention and validation. They will dominate your time, whether it's a friend or somebody who is trying to demonically lure you into this entire entanglement, if you will. They have a very exaggerated need for attention and validation from their supply of people that keep their false ego and disgusting need for an ego boost and all of that going and, fueled and all of that. No matter how much you tell them that you love them, admire them, approve of them, etc., it literally is never enough. It's never enough. They're very self-absorbed. They're very grandiose, braggadocious. They're very insecure at their core. But don't feel sorry for them. Like, don't ever, when I tell you don't ever feel sorry for a narcissist, don't you ever feel sorry for a narcissist, male or female. And they do constantly have to find themselves eliciting praise and approval from others to shore up their fragile egos, They have a sense of perfectionism, I guess. They really are dissatisfied and miserable people. That's just what they are, or miserable beings. And they'll even accuse you falsely of trying to be perfect. I know that happened to me with the stupid bitch that I unfortunately have encountered and all of that. You know, she envied me from the first time that she came across me through people that we know. That's a story. That's a story time for another day. So trust me, we'll get into that. But yeah, they do have a sense of perfectionism or whatever, because they can't ever be found out. If you were bringing a rapist home, and let's say those of you guys that have kids or nephews or someone, a child, a minor, especially who you take care of, or someone that has special needs in your home, would you bring a rapist or a pedophile into that environment knowingly? I would imagine not. Just like you wouldn't bring a narcissist home, knowingly that they're a narcissist. You wouldn't bring that into your home, especially for them to wreak havoc in your home, and cause harm and all of that. They have a great need for control. I'm trying to see if I'm reading as I talk to you guys. They're just very controlling. They control your time. They want to control your mindset. They want to control your actions. They're just very controlling. And even here it says breaking up with a narcissist is very tricky as a result of how manipulative and controlling that they are. Okay. On a daily basis, there's no exception. Like, they are manipulative and controlling pieces of crap. It just is what it is. They lack responsibility. They're constantly blaming people for their actions in shitty ass ways. They deflect a lot. And it's funny because the female narc I know would falsely accuse me of deflecting because she's a master of deflecting, and they deflect and they project a lot. Okay. Huge lack of boundaries with these people. Huge lack of boundaries. Okay. They don't respect your relationship with someone that you care for or that you love. They don't respect tangible or intangible boundaries. They just don't respect them. Okay. They have temper tantrums, especially those narcissists that are adults or what have you, 18 or older. They have temper tantrums at their ages. And again, that's how they manipulate you and control you in various ways, in different dynamics and different contexts. But they have a huge lack of boundaries. What else? They lack empathy for sure. That's a hallmark sign of narcissism, as this article points out. They don't apologize. They're never remorseful, and they're never guilty, right? They never own up to their actions. They never own up to anything, okay? Unless maybe it's something evil that they did. And then, of course, obviously they'll want to take the credit for being evil because they're evil at their core. But anything in fairness, they will never own up and take responsibility in that sort of context. What else? They don't consider people's feelings. We know that. It's just sickening. They perceive everything and everyone as a threat because, again, at their core, they are very envious and jealous people and all of that. And that's just what that is. They're very defensive. And of course, this article will be linked in the description box below for your leisure reading and education and all of that. They'll misinterpret the most simple of things so that they can rage on you, right? A rage is just a really massive, right? A really massive and outlandish episode of them throwing a tantrum, right? But in the psych world, it's called rage. Emotional reasoning, that does not exist with them because, again, they lack empathy. They are not emotionally intelligent at all. Or if they are emotionally intelligent, it's for the sake of manipulating, their targets and all of that. It's a whole, y'all, I'm telling you, I've lived this nightmare. It's insane. They always look to something or someone outside of themselves to solve their feelings and their needs, and if they feel like you're not a solution to their need or their demands, because they have all kinds of sickening, outlandish, demonic demands, they'll respond and they'll react with irritation and resentment. And of course, ultimatums and crap like that. They have split personalities for fucking sure. They definitely have split personalities. Oh, I will be cussing in this video. So listen, if you know, then you know, okay? They have very huge split personalities. They fear rejection and ridicule, although they like to ridicule others. Bully others, antagonize others, be domineering to others. They're freaking psychopaths and sociopaths, literally. Look into that as well while you're at it. They they claim they deal with anxiety, because I've heard that line and that lie before, but they don't really deal with anxiety the way that maybe maybe other people, like a decent person, I guess, does. Um, I'm trying to even think. You can read more about how they express anxiety here, but they supposedly deal with anxiety. Who cares? Deeply repressed shame. Who cares? Because again, we don't feel sorry. We do not feel sorry for narcissists over here. We never will. We never will. They have a huge inability to be truly vulnerable, because again, they have a constant need for self-protection. They can't and they do not truly love or connect emotionally with other people. Okay, whether you're dating them, you're their friend, they don't genuinely and emotionally connect with other people. They want others to feel their pain, to sympathize with them, and all kinds of nonsense. It's just insane. And there's something called trauma bonding. I think I'm gonna have to do a whole separate video on trauma bonding. We'll see. But trauma bonding is like, maybe like if you had childhood issues and a crappy childhood for one reason or another, a narcissist, male or female, will connect with you. Like when they first are getting to know you, whether platonically or romantically or whatever, they will want to, they'll want to learn more about you. They'll inquire more about that part of your life and pretty much try not to disclose anything. They're just psychopaths, okay? But they want to build a trauma bond with you. That way, again, ridding your life of them will be that much more difficult, if that makes sense. So a trauma bond is a form of codependency. And so again, I'll get into more of these dynamics, down the line. They're not good at communication, healthy communication, grown-up communication, and they're not good at working as part of a team. And so that's just one article there of major factors and qualities of narcissists. Okay. It is, in the psych world, known as a personality disorder. Here. Also, so we talked about these qualities, like these more, these dynamics here of a narcissist. Let's talk about the phases, right, of your initial connection, and then of course throughout the whole journey of knowing a narcissist and dealing with one. Okay, there are several key phases, and we're going to go ahead and get into it. And so the phases are known as idealization, devaluation, discard, and hoover. Okay, the idealization phase of dealing with a narcissist, male or female, is they say it's the most dangerous of them all, but honestly, depending on how demonic a given narcissist is, it can just go any way. Okay, with any of these phases. But the first stage is known as idealization. Okay, it's how they hook a person into their world. It begins at the very beginning of the relationship, where they make you feel truly special or valued or, adored and all of that, because you can adore, a good friend, a best friend. And in my case, again, I've not dated or been married to a narcissist, but I unfortunately had a counterfeit ass friendship with a narcissist. And so I was definitely treated as valuable and cherished and all that. And the way I was set up and deceived greatly, yeah, more on that later on. And so in the idealization phase, the narcissist will present themselves to be exactly who they think you want them to be. And they're so clever, they have like a sixth sense of knowing what it is that you want, to be connected to you and a person and stuff like that. So in the idealization phase, you'll find that you can't get enough of the person. It's intoxicating being around them, almost like being a drug addict. It's even been likened to being a drug addict, having a connection with a narcissist. That's bad, y'all. That's bad. But it's the reality of it, You'll believe that you found someone that's like, your perfect match and that type of thing. And it's with the idealization phase, which includes a very important dynamic known as love bombing. I'll go into love bombing with this article. Love bombing is like a sub phase of the idealization phase. And so we'll talk about that in a second. But in the idealization phase, romantically, especially, you'll think as a woman that you found the perfect man. And then as a man, you'll think that you found wifey. And let me tell you, you could not be more wrong, either which way. You find yourself letting your guard down like never before. You relax all your boundaries with this person. It's really bad. Again, I'm watching it happen right now. It's happened to me in other ways as well with this stupid female narc that I know of. And so, yeah, even if red flags appear when you're dealing with this demon, you'll find yourself explaining away their actions and their behavior. You'll find yourself constantly making excuses for their shitty ass behavior, demonic behavior, and all of that. So you can read more about that idealization phase, in this article. The second phase that comes after that is called devaluation. Now, once you've been completely drawn in by the narcissist, they start to change up, how they interact with you from day to day and stuff like that. And they become even more manipulative. It'll be very subtle. The manipulation and control will be very, very subtle. They'll isolate you from people that you were once close to, which allows them to, remove any people that would give you sound wisdom, and perspective on things, especially potentially finding them out. They'll remove those people strategically out of your life. I know because I'm one of those people, and that happened to somebody who I love deeply. And I'm sitting, I just, like I said, he is just in a mess. I'll just say that, with this female narc that I said, I was once friends with and all of that. She moved in on a relationship that we were working on and all of that. And so that's how I know how ruthless they can be. And so they like to divide and conquer. They distort facts. They're pathological liars as well. That one article I initially showed you guys didn't really point that out, but they are pathological liars on a regular basis. They guilt trip you. They withhold things from you. They'll withhold sex from you even. I mean, it's just madness, okay? They threaten you. They blame you, just all of it, okay? And so this is what happens when they begin to devalue you. So they'll still have need of you, but they're so sadistic and insidious that they will also begin to, show these additional red flags in their daily interactions with you, okay? So you can read more about the manipulation tactic of devaluation, in this article here, which I'll have linked in my description box below. In the discard phase, you know what? Before I go into, we talked about idealization, we talked about devaluation. The one reason why idealization is so dangerous, okay, is because of the subdynamic known as love bombing. Now, love bombing, okay, is a period of intensive positive attention from the narcissist that can include excessive flattery and declarations of love, mirroring your behavior, your hobbies, topics, conversations and stuff like that, issues that you're passionate about. They will mirror that. They will go out of their way. And I've seen it with my own eyes for months on end. So I know this without a shadow of a doubt. They will mirror your passions and stuff like that in life. Hold on one second, you guys. I have to get my charger. Oh my God. My computer's, you know what? It's right here. Thankfully, my charger was unplugged. And so they will, love bombing includes excessive flattery, declarations of love, mirroring, future faking, gifts, sex, just all kinds of stuff. Okay. And so you'll see a story time here in this article about her love bombing experience with her ex-boyfriend. And it's how the narcissist helps. Well, it's how the narcissist, finds himself getting you to fall in love with them. There we go. And it's just bad. Love bombing is just bad. And so with love bombing, you can learn more about it here. I'm trying to even think. Yeah, love bombing is just insane. There's more details about love bombing here. Yeah, love bombing is just, this whole article you need to read. That's all I'll say about love bombing. Yeah, you'll find yourself just jeopardizing things in your life, sacrificing unnecessarily, all of that in this love bombing subdynamic of the idealization phase, okay? But getting back to the phases of a narcissistic friendship or relationship, we talked about idealization to include love bombing. We talked about devaluation. Let's talk about the discard. The discard is the phase where The narcissist, once they've sucked you dry financially, spiritually, time-wise, etc., and you're no longer providing the supply that they need, like the fix, basically, the daily fix of attention and admiration and shit. And if you've undermined their sense of false self in any way, they will, they'll get rid of you, like they'll rid their life of you or whatever. And so if you don't manage to like rid your life of this demon before they do this to you, before they cut you off, basically, is what is pretty much the discard phase. Is pretty much the narcissist cutting you off. Okay, that's what that is, basically. It's just the discard phase is just what it is. It's just pretty much when the narcissist deems fit, okay, in their psychotic minds to throw you away and replace you with somebody else, another victim. Okay, that's what the discard phase is. Hoovering. Oh wow, hoovering. Hoovering is something that can happen to you once the narcissist has cut you off, basically, or discarded you. And once they've cut you off, they might leave you alone and let you go about your life. But if they're like just super psychopathic and all that, which they are, but it depends on how psychopathic they are. If they don't leave you, if they don't choose to leave you alone and let you go about your life, they will hoover you. Hoovering would look like online or in-person harassment at your job, at your home, in your neighborhood, in public. If they know like you're going and coming and your whereabouts, they'll stalk you and they'll harass you online or in person. I've dealt, those of y'all that know me, you know that I've dealt with the online harassment and stalking tremendously. Okay, that's known as hoovering. Okay, they'll also send other people. In the psych world, they've got minions. Narcissists have these minions called flying monkeys. Okay. And so they'll send their minions or their flying monkeys to also harass you online or in person. They'll even use your kids. Those of you guys that have kids, whether, through marriage or another kind of relationship, if you have kids with the narc, they'll manipulate kids, to their sick advantage. It's just so sick and demonic, this whole nightmare when I tell y'all. So when it comes to hoovering, hoovering is pretty much the narcissist's way of getting back at you, right? Just being even more evil for no reason, right? They either want you back in their lives to cause further abuse, or they just want to abuse you even when you are not responsive and you don't give them that satisfaction. Does that make sense? Of taking friendship back with them or reconciling a relationship or a marriage with them and that type of thing is their way of getting back at you. So that's what hoovering is. And again, there's more details on how hoovering, of that dynamic. There's more details here in this article and otherwise, in other articles and other videos as well on the internet. So those are the 4 phases of a narcissist, a relationship or friendship. Okay. We talked about love bombing as well. We talked about some signs. Here's some additional factors of dealing with a narcissist. We talked about love bombing. Even here, this article says, if your new significant other is coming on really strong, you've got to be cautious, They take subtle digs at you. They nag you a lot because, again, they're entitled to your time. They're entitled to just every facet of your life, so they think. So they'll nag you about stuff. What else? They chastise you, they criticize you, they're domineering, like all that kind of stuff, that you just have to be very aware and mindful of and take notes of, take mental notes of, Future faking is a manipulative tactic used by the narcissist. When they try to, when they find themselves just talking about, future plans with you and stuff like that, future goals, quote unquote, and future plans with you, right? Because again, they plan on keeping you around as long. If a narcissist can keep a person around indefinitely, they will. But at some point, most of us come to our senses and, we make our exit from their lives one way or another. And, we want to recover, from the trauma and the BS that we dealt with from knowing them. And so future faking is just that. Like they'll talk about, just future plans. And you can read more about future faking here. It's just a way, it's a tactic for making you stay indefinitely with them. That's pretty much what future faking is. Narcissists, they really don't have friends. Let me just be honest. They really don't have friends. Even the female narc that I know, she boasts about how she doesn't want friends, right? She comes off as friendly, but again, everything that bitch does is with a motive, okay? An evil motive. Let me be very clear, okay? And if if you've had an encounter or you're connected to, or you know of any male narcissists, it's the same thing with them. It's the same with both male and female narcissists, but they don't have many friends. And if they have any friends, I mean, their friends are just willfully blind, okay, to the red flags in their character, in their behavior, etc. You feel the need to defend a narcissist. Again, just read more about this in this article. Thank me later. They shift blame to you. All their exes, ex-boyfriends, ex-friends, ex-girlfriends, ex-whatever, ex-neighbors, they're all crazy. We're all crazy. Okay, we're all crazy. We're all jealous of them, and we're all fucking paranoid, Just read this. Just read these articles. I'm telling y'all, read these articles. And then there's more details here, okay, about red flags that will alarm you to the fact that you have a narcissist on your hands, okay? And then let me see. This is like another article that I can show you guys. I'll link this article as well. But honestly, I mean, I would think that by now you have a pretty darn good idea, okay, of you have a pretty darn good idea of of what a narcissist is, okay? And so, yeah. So wrapping it up, I'm going to go into the fact that I did mention that female narcissists are just as much out here as male narcissists are. They can go overlooked, and they can operate even more in a stealth mode as a result of being underestimated, basically. But trust me, female narcissists are incredibly demonic, sadistic, ruthless, and insidious, okay? I know from experience, and unfortunately. And let me see. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes, y'all, and I don't want to leave anything out of this video if I can help it. And so in this article, it talks about a little bit about female narcissists, right? As you know, it's a personality. It's a demonic, okay? It's a demonic presence. A narcissist is a demonic presence, okay? Characterized by grandiosity, excess need for admiration, excess need for your time, and a lack of empathy toward people, okay? And so that's what narcissism is. Now, when it comes to narcissism, let me see here. Male narcissists, they're angry. And so they tend to be aggressive and explosive when it comes to that anger. Female narcissists, when they're angry, they'll punish their victims by withholding affection, withholding their attention, that type of thing, okay? And I've seen that done as well. Female narcissists utilize neglect or guilt as a form of control. Been there, seen that. And although this statement here says that male narcissists, they are more likely to utilize power and status as a form of control, female narcs can also do the very same thing, because again, the female narc bitch that I know of, she uses neglect, guilt, power, all that stuff, power, status, she uses all those factors as a form of control and manipulation with her victims, okay? And I've seen it firsthand, so I know what I'm talking about. And with this article, you can see some key dynamics of the female narcissistic personality. They act like they're martyrs. Their pain is greater than everyone else's pain. They make more effort than anybody else. Their suffering is worse. Their suffering is more extraordinary than the next person's. Stuff like that. They're very boastful, etc. Obviously, they're very superficial. They're deeply insecure. They're very obsessed with their social image, which is where that dynamic of perfection comes into play. Because again, I can recall the female narc that I know of. I can recall her one day, maybe about April or May of this year. This bitch said to me, "Don't try getting inside of my head," right? Now, at this point, we used to be in the same friend group of people, right? This was a day where she had threatened to leave, our online space that we had or whatever, that they still have going. I'm no longer a part of, thank God. She threatened to leave for 3 weeks, because she was bored and all of that. But all of that was manipulation because, again, the man that I love is a part of that space. And so she knew that he would feel some kind of way with her absence or whatever. Now, he didn't think of it and still probably doesn't know that that was a manipulation tactic, right? But it's a manipulation tactic, right? And so why did I even say all that? I brought that up for a reason. I forget why I brought that up. Either way, they're manipulative. That's the point of that, okay? So they're superficial. We know that. They're competitive and jealous, but they'll accuse you of being jealous of them. And it's like, why would I want to be anything? Why would I want to be described and known as a narcissist, psychopath, and sociopath? Make that make sense. Would you, listener, would you want to be described and likened to and known as a psychopath? I'm pretty sure you wouldn't, okay? But they're very competitive and jealous. Like this article says, if other women appear to be more interesting or threatening than the female narcissist, she will use shame tactics. She'll bully you. She'll one-up you with different skills and gifts that you have that she may have something like it of, but she'll have to one-up you with that gift or talent or knowledge or whatever in order to, again, show her superiority and that other bullcrap. It's disgusting, but I've lived it. And again, this female narc that I unfortunately know, she was very threatened by me, and she made sure she showed that she was threatened by me. They're overbearing, they're domineering, and that type of thing. And so, yeah. And this final paragraph in this article just talks about misconceptions with female narcissists, and they are for sure rageful, contemptuous, bullies. They're not nice at all. They are deceptively nice, right? Because they're cunning, they're evil, and they're crafty, but they're never genuinely nice. Everything that they do, no matter how nice it may appear to be or generous or whatever, it's always done with ulterior motive. So I think I've shared quite a bit with you guys today. Like I said, I will be sure to link. Oh my God, I've been talking for almost 40 minutes. I'll be sure to link each of the articles that I shared in this video with you guys. I hope that I communicated very clearly with you guys. This gets me so triggered for a trillion reasons, okay? If you've ever lived this nightmare, and I hope that if you are a genuine and a good, kind-hearted person, especially if you're an empath, which I discovered this year that I have empathic tendencies. Narcissists are very drawn to empaths, whether you're a male empath or a female empath, they're drawn to that. So again, this topic is so crucial to have knowledge on, in-depth knowledge on. I thank you so much for spending time with me on this day, in this very moment, whether it's daytime, evening time. I thank you so much, whatever part of the world you're tuning in from. I thank you so much for spending time with me today. I didn't think this video was going to be this long, but trust me, you'll thank me later, because you would never want a loved one or your best friend, whoever, to be a part of a nightmare like this. Trust me, you don't. There's more conversations to come on this topic. I'll be uploading another video about narcissism before this week is over, so stay tuned for that. My name is Adrena Monet. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Subscribe to my channel if you feel led to. Like the video for sure if you got value out of this. Comment down below. Let me know if you have any experience with an actual narcissist. Okay, you're not just throwing out the insult out of your ignorance and lack of knowledge or education on the fact. Let me know if anything resonated with you, if you learned anything, what you learned. Talk back to me. Talk to me in the comments below. I do want to hear from you. And again, we are almost at 39 minutes, so your girl's about to sign off. I thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.